one, here's a two-parter. Sorry. Steel Storm. Steel Storm is at least a semi-popular, from what I gather, game. Maybe it was popular overseas, not here. I'm not sure. But there's a sequel to Steel Storm, and the developers have already said it's coming to Linux first.
Cool.
This is, to me, kind of like, you're just able to see on the horizon, you're able to make out a couple shapes, but you can't tell what it is. I think we are in a time where Linux is going to start getting a lot of credit for gaming. It doesn't have Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, whatever, right now. I'm talking in the future. I think it's going to take years, but I think Linux will be very much competitive.
Yeah, I hope so.
Games.
I hope so.
And from what I hear, this game is cool. So hopefully when that time comes, we will be ready to rock.
Sounds good.
And I'll be able to sniper some people or something. Okay, this is a thing. This next thing I heard from Jonathan, they do month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. Okay. One of the things everyone complains about is Steam. Steam is a great concept, great idea, great functionality of you basically have like a floating in the cloud computer at any Windows computer or certain Mac games also. You can log into your computer, download the Steam client, and then load whatever game you want that you already purchased.
Why are people complaining about it?
Well, because it's not on Linux.
Oh.
Okay. There's a system out there, site, service, whatever, called Desora.
Desora.
I'll go for that. And this is trying to be Steam on Linux. From one account, you can buy, right now, I want to say it's like 80 games, 85 games, somewhere around there. And they're all Linux games. They do have a couple free games, I will say, for Linux.
Neat.
That they will let you have.
This cube game looks cool as hell.
There is a couple games, I will say, that look really cool, really slick. It is one of those things that it is going to keep getting more and more popular as time goes on. And I think with popularity comes credibility. With credibility brings more games. With more games, more popular, and the cycle continues on.
Sure.
So if you at all want a game and you're on Linux, go to desura.com and you can browse some games, create an account for free. And if you want to try a game, they even have right now Steel Storm Burning Retribution, 75% off, $1.25.
Wow. This is ridiculous. You could play games, you could play mods, you could develop games and join friends. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Steel Storm thing now, and I'm not entirely sure of what's going on in the game. Like you're a little teeny ship.
Yeah.
But I'll stop watching videos now, Steve.
That's good.
Okay. I think it's going to get more popular as time goes on. I think it's cool. I think it's cool enough to mention. And I want to thank Jonathan for making sure I knew about that.
Jonathan rocks.
Absolutely. Okay, next quickie. Video editing on Linux is not up to the level of professionalism of other operating systems.
But it looks better every day.
In my eyes, but they need to keep an eye out. I mean, it is getting a lot better, and I will say KDN Live is one of those ones I personally think is better. It's friendlier than other choices on Linux.
Yeah.
Easy transitions, easy way to edit the audio separate from the video or vice versa. Really easy to export in multiple formats of all different resolutions and everything else. Really easy to do what I think is being some pretty advanced editing on the fly kind of thing. And there's a nice thing over at opensource.com. It's called KDN Live Part 1, Introduction to KDN Live. They take you through the interface, the concept, the idea, and the basic usage.
This looks great. I could have sworn I downloaded KDN Live before. It didn't look this good.
No. I can tell you, a year ago, it did not look this good at all. It definitely looked much blockier. Like the text was like huge next to things. It was not at all this smooth. They definitely went through a bit of a change in the interface.
Big time. Impressive. It looks more like the other competitors.
Yeah.
It's the total, the very normal non-linear video editor type deal with the preview screen, the tracks and everything. I like it.
Yeah, and I'll say if you just type in KDENLIVE, all one word, space tutorial, you'll get to the KDN Live official site where they have I honestly don't know how many tutorials, but it seems like at least 30 or 40.
Really?
Which I think is kind of cool that they themselves are promoting tutorials.
That's
I don't know
cool.
too many. Yeah, I don't know too many other products or applications that do that.
Unless it's their own.
Well, I don't know. But I thought this was pretty cool. I think it's one of those things, it's basically good to know even if you're not going to use it a lot, because you never know when your sister or your wife or somebody's going to come to you and say, I have video of yada yada's 10-year-old birthday party. I need to do this and that with it. You can come through to me and be the hero.
Totally.
Yeah.
This looks great.
Yes.
Good one.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. And I do think 6-8 months, we're going to have more advancements, even more advancements. The one application I'll say to keep an eye out for, it's called
OpenShot?
No.
Oh.
I think it's VLNC. Oh, it's the Video LAN client.
Come on, they've been talking about that for years. They haven't done crap on it.
I know their video player rocks.
So their video player rocks, but when I was looking for a Linux-based video editor, I came across that, and it's just the development stopped, and then I downloaded it. It just crashed on my. Actually, I ran it on my Mac, actually, and
No, it crashed on mine too. As soon as I launched it, it would load up and disappear.
I hope they get it going. I mean, I love the variety we could get, but right now this is the best one I've seen. OpenShot probably comes in second, and then VLC, whatever they come up with, should be pretty good.
I honestly think OpenShot was having more advancement quicker than KDN Live, which is why people were looking at that one. But I do think KDN Live is now bouncing back and doing good.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one, Steve, there's already too many choices, but I'm still going to mention this one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's called Live USB Install. LIVE USB install. This is an application for Windows or Linux. Yes. It's basically a little app. You run it. You can pick from a couple hundred, I believe, different distributions. And if you pick a distribution, this app will go out and download the ISO file for you. You don't have to download it on your own. And then you can put in a USB disk. You can install that ISO file, that installer, to the USB disk, but you can also make it a persistent operating system. So you can literally put it into one computer, boot to it, create text documents, save it to that thumb drive, boot up to another computer, and you have those same Word documents right there, like a normal operating system.
Cool.
Yeah, supposedly this is a very, very easy application to use. Honestly, I haven't had time to do it, but I like the fact that it is cross-platform.
Wow, looks nice.
You can pick from a list of over 100 distributions, which I believe it's different. Like they just don't have Ubuntu. They have Ubuntu 11.10, 10.04, 10.10, 10.04, Kubuntu, Shubuntu, Lubuntu, and all that.
Sweet.
and the ability to make it persistent is just gold. I love the idea of a computer in my pocket.
Right, that's badass.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, next thing, because I know we're running long, Steve. Really quick, I got this link from Tracy Holtz. I honestly don't think we mentioned it. 5 months ago or so, we had somebody ask us a question about replacing church software. And I didn't really understand what the software was that they needed, so I can't really have a replacement. Tracy told me about this, and I'm not going to lie, got lost in the shuffle. But I wanted to mention it for anybody who's listening. Now, this book is geared towards how to bring GNU open source software into a church, and it's written from a Christian church perspective. There's no doubt in my mind, no matter what your religion is, if you read this, you can get similar ideas. You know what I mean? Because, church is church is church. You don't want to spend a lot of money on fancy things. You want to save as much money as possible to keep as much money into the church and for events and other things. So you want to save money, and you have the same kind of goals of, keeping track of things, keeping things organized while encouraging growth. Same kind of thing. Tracy said this book got actually really high marks, and he knows 2 people that read this, and they were immediately able to bring more open source and save money into their church.
Really? Penguin,
Yes.
Penguin in the Pew. What a funny name. It's awesome.
Yes.
It clears up the confusion about the terms free and open source, addresses the challenges of hardware compatibility, software. Readers will learn why and how they should migrate to the GNU Linux operating system. The book's author invites fellow Christians to join in a dialogue where the GNU Linux philosophy and Christian values intersect. So he's basically relating Linux and open source to religion.
I think, and I'll say a great many people treat it like a religion, where if you talk bad about it, they might try to crucify you.
Cool, man.
And I'm not going into any more details there, Steve. I'm right now jumping off of that. But it's definitely could be useful for, I would say, for a lot of different organizations.
Yeah, I think so too.
I suggest people look at it. Okay. This last thing, I had 0 time to look at it. 0. But I know 2 or 3 people that have told me in the past about using this and how they liked it a lot because it saved a lot of money and because it worked, they said, flawlessly. It's an application called Tripwire. What this is, this has the ability to take a single cam or multi cams and turn it into like motion sensing cameras without spending thousands of dollars. I will say it's based upon Debian, what they have here, how you do it. They do have Fedora and Gentoo, Slackware and Arch in tutorials. They don't have anything on BSD, but that's okay. If you are concerned about security and making security systems, I really encourage you to take a look at Tripwire. It's intrusion detection. Now I'm thinking I had this confused, Steve.
With what?
I think this is a network intrusion detection system. And I was completely wrong.
As opposed to like physical?
Yeah, that's what this is. This sits on your network and watches for suspicious activity.
Aha.
So take the last 3 minutes of what I said, strike it, reverse.
Now you learned a valuable lesson, Dor. Because you said at the very beginning you didn't look at this yet.
I didn't. I could have swore it was called Tripwire, what they were using for camera monitoring. Guess not.
Yeah.
Okay. So this I was completely wrong. It's an IDS. It's an intrusion detection system, i.e., it can watch packets on your network and it can
Alert you?
notice